In this video, we dive deep into the latest drama unfolding in Beyond the Gates. Nicole's world is turned upside down when Carlton drops a shocking proposal, throwing their relationship into a whirlwind of emotions. While Nicole's initial joy takes center stage, a dark cloud of doubt soon hovers over her happiness. As secrets and rumors about Carlton's past come to light, Nicole is forced to question everything she thought she knew about him. Is this proposal an expression of genuine love, or is it part of a much larger, more sinister plan? Stay tuned as we break down the twists and turns of this gripping storyline and what might happen next. In the world of Beyond the Gates, Nicole finds herself at a pivotal moment in her life. The unexpected proposal from Carlton catches her completely off guard. The shock is not from the fact that they have been together for some time, but rather the weight and gravity of the gesture itself. The overwhelming joy that floods her heart at that moment is indescribable, a deep sense of happiness and fulfillment. For Nicole, who has long been skeptical about finding true love, this proposal is a dream come true. The man she has come to trust, love, and depend on has just offered her a future together, and she could not have been more ecstatic. But as the initial rush of happiness settles, so too does the heavy shadow of doubt. Nicole is not a woman who is easily swayed by grand gestures, especially when it comes to love. While she had always believed in the strength of their bond, there is something about Carlton's proposal that does not sit right with her. His sudden declaration of commitment feels too perfect, too calculated, and too convenient. There are things about him that she does not fully understand, aspects of his past that remain shrouded in mystery, and whispers of secrets that may threaten the foundation of their relationship. Nicole begins to question whether this proposal is truly an expression of love or merely a strategic move on Carlton's part, one designed to keep her close, to trap her in a web of intrigue that she's not yet able to see. In the days following the proposal, Nicole finds herself unable to shake the nagging voice of suspicion that has taken root in her mind. She recalls the rumors that had swirled around Carlton in the past, rumors of a man who has been involved in dealings that were far from above board, who has hidden parts of his life from her, even though they have been in each other's lives for years. Friends and family members, some of whom have been around longer than she and Carlton have been together, have hinted at things she wishes she could ignore. But now, with this marriage proposal on the table, those whispers become louder and more insistent. It's hard for Nicole to dismiss them, and even harder to silence the unease that has begun to settle deep in her chest. Despite the love she feels for Carlton, despite the history they have built together, Nicole starts to realize that this proposal may not just be about love. It may be about control. It may be about ensuring that she is forever bound to him, tied to his world and his ambitions in ways that she hadn't considered before. The life they have shared has always seemed so genuine, so filled with promise. Yet now, as the pieces of the puzzle slowly come into sharper focus, Nicole starts to wonder if she has been blinded by her own emotions, by the comfort of a relationship she thought was built on mutual respect and affection. Carlton has always been a man of mystery, but now that mystery takes on a more sinister tone. Is his affection for her real, or is there something more he's hiding, something darker and more dangerous that could upend everything she thought she knew about him? As the doubts continue to grow, Nicole starts to look for answers. She begins questioning everyone who might know more about Carlton's past, about his motivations, about the man she is about to marry. She even starts to investigate his previous relationships, discovering things about him that she had never known. The more she uncovers, the more she feels her world shifting beneath her feet. Secrets that had been hidden from her for so long begin to surface, and each revelation feels like another piece of the puzzle falling into place. But the picture it paints is not the one she expected. The man she thought she knew so well is not the man he appears to be. With each new discovery, Nicole's mind becomes more conflicted. She loves Carlton, that much is undeniable. But love is not always enough to overcome the darkness that can reside within a person. She finds herself standing at a crossroads, torn between her feelings for him and the unsettling truths that are now coming to light. Can she trust him? Can she move forward with the marriage she has always dreamed of, or is this proposal simply a trap, one that could lead her down a path from which there is no return? The stakes are higher than ever before, and Nicole knows that every decision she makes from here on out will have lasting consequences, not just for her, but for everyone involved. The tension mounts as Nicole wrestles with her emotions, her suspicions, and the possibility that Carlton may have manipulated her all along. The love she once thought was pure and sincere now feels tainted, overshadowed by the fear that everything she has built with him might come crashing down. She cannot ignore the feelings of betrayal that have taken root in her heart, nor can she deny the fear that haunts her every thought. How could she have been so blind? How could she have trusted someone so completely, so fully, without knowing the truth about who he really is? Nicole's internal battle intensifies as she seeks guidance from those closest to her. Friends, family, and even strangers offer their opinions, but none of their words seem to provide the clarity she desperately needs. Some encourage her to follow her heart, to embrace the love she shares with Carlton and take the leap into marriage. Others, however, warn her to stay away, to trust her instincts, and to walk away from a man who may not have her best interests at heart. But in the end, it is Nicole who must make the final decision. It is her life, her future, and she alone holds the power to shape it. As the wedding day draws closer, Nicole's anxiety reaches a fever pitch. Each moment spent with Carlton now feels strained, filled with a tension that neither of them can escape. The love they once shared feels distant, replaced by a growing sense of distrust. The closer they get to the altar, the more Nicole questions whether she is making a terrible mistake. The doubt is suffocating, and the weight of it threatens to crush her. Is she ready to commit to a life with a man whose true intentions may never be fully understood? Or is she doomed to make a choice she will regret for the rest of her life? The answer, as it turns out, may lie in one final revelation. As the truth comes to light and the pieces of the puzzle fall into place, Nicole must decide once and for all whether to trust Carlton and marry him, or to walk away and face a future uncertain but free from the grip of doubt. In a moment of clarity, she realizes that while love is a powerful force, trust is even more essential. Without trust, a relationship cannot survive. And as much as she still loves Carlton, the trust between them may have been broken beyond repair. The story of Nicole and Carlton is one of love, betrayal, and self-discovery, a journey that will ultimately define Nicole's future and her ability to overcome the darkness that has threatened to consume her. Will she find the strength to move forward with her life, or will she forever be haunted by the question of what might have been? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: Nicole's life will never be the same again. As the days leading up to the wedding ceremony grow shorter, Nicole's sense of unease intensifies. She can no longer ignore the weight of her doubts, the growing tension between her heart and her mind. Every time she looks at Carlton, a flicker of suspicion stirs inside her, even though her love for him remains undeniable. The man who once seemed like her perfect match now feels like a stranger. What should have been one of the happiest moments of her life has turned into a battleground between trust and betrayal. Despite her conflicted emotions, Nicole continues to try to reconcile her feelings for Carlton with the uncomfortable truths that have begun to surface. They've built a life together, one full of memories, laughter, and shared dreams. But all of that seems overshadowed now by the secrets and mysteries that have been slowly peeling away, layer by layer. Could Carlton have hidden so much from her? Was everything they had really as genuine as she believed, or had she been living in an illusion? The whispers from their friends and family have not helped. Some say she should follow her heart, that love is worth the risk, even if it means turning a blind eye to the unknown. Others have warned her to be cautious, to protect herself from a man whose past may be filled with dangerous truths. As the pressure mounts, Nicole finds herself spiraling further into uncertainty. The woman who once felt confident and secure in her relationship now feels as if she's standing on the edge of a cliff, staring into an abyss of the unknown. One evening, as they sit together in their home, Carlton notices the change in her demeanor. He reaches out to her, his voice filled with concern. "Nicole, what's going on? You've been distant lately. Are we okay?" His words are gentle, but they carry the weight of an underlying question. Does he know what's been troubling her? Nicole opens her mouth to speak, but the words get caught in her throat. She wants to tell him the truth, to confess the doubts that have been eating away at her, but fear grips her heart. What if she's wrong? What if all of this is just her mind running wild? She doesn't want to accuse him without knowing the full story, but she can no longer ignore the feeling that something is deeply off. Instead of answering directly, she withdraws, her mind racing with conflicting thoughts. Carlton, noticing her silence, grows more insistent. "Nicole, talk to me. Please. Whatever it is, we'll work through it."
His words seem sincere, but in the back of Nicole's mind, the nagging question lingers: is he being genuine, or is this part of his manipulation? The next few days are a blur.
Nicole spends more time alone, wrestling with her emotions, piecing together the fragments of information she's gathered. She remembers the subtle signs she had ignored, the vague responses to certain questions, the way Carlton's past seemed always just out of reach. Why had he been so evasive about certain details of his life before they met? And why, after all this time, did she still feel like there were parts of him hidden from her? Then, the breaking point comes. Nicole uncovers a piece of information that shakes her to her core, a document that reveals something about Carlton's financial dealings, something that doesn't quite add up. She digs deeper, following a trail of breadcrumbs that leads her to a revelation she never expected: Carlton's involvement in a questionable business venture that could ruin everything he's built. The project he's been so passionate about is not what he had led her to believe. It's tied to shady dealings and manipulations that would not only harm their relationship but also endanger the people around him. Shocked and heartbroken, Nicole confronts Carlton with what she's discovered. "I know about the business deal, Carlton," she says, her voice steady but filled with disbelief. "I know what you've been hiding from me." Carlton's face pales as he realizes the truth has come to light. "Nicole, he begins, but Nicole cuts him off, her anger rising. "You lied to me, Carlton. You've been hiding things from me from the very beginning. How can I trust you now?" Carlton's eyes dart nervously, and for a moment, Nicole sees something that she had never seen before: fear. But it's not the kind of fear that comes from love or remorse. It's the fear of being caught, the fear of losing control. That's when it hits her: she's been living in a carefully constructed illusion, a web of lies that Carlton has spun around her. "I never meant for you to find out," Carlton says, his voice filled with regret, "but it's too little, too late. The damage is done. Nicole, I didn't want you to see this side of me. But you've been showing me who you really are all along." Nicole replies, her voice filled with quiet fury. "You just didn't want me to see it." The tension between them is palpable, and Nicole knows, deep down, that this is the moment that will change everything. She stands up, her decision clear. "I can't marry you, Carlton. I can't be with someone who hides the truth from me, who manipulates me like this. I deserve more than that." Carlton's face crumples with a mixture of frustration and desperation. "Nicole, please don't do this. We can fix this. I love you, I do." Nicole shakes her head, tears welling in her eyes. "Love isn't enough when trust is broken. You've shown me that love is only part of the equation. Trust, honesty, and transparency matter more. I can't build a future with you when I can't trust you." With that, Nicole walks away, leaving behind the man she thought she would marry. It's the hardest decision she has ever made, but it's the right one. She knows that she can't settle for a life built on lies, no matter how much she loves Carlton. In the aftermath of her decision, she finds herself standing at the edge of a new beginning. It's uncertain, but it's hers to define. And as painful as it is to let go of the life she imagined, she knows it's the first step toward reclaiming her own truth, her own future. As Nicole moves forward, she understands that love is not about perfection. It's about trust, honesty, and mutual respect. With Carlton, she had neither, and now, with a newfound clarity, she is ready to find a love that is real, a love that is built on truth. The journey ahead will be difficult, but Nicole is stronger than ever, and she is determined to never settle for anything less than what she truly deserves.